Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. Isis, Escape from Transylvania. The goddess next door and John Haynes must escape a horde of vampires on the hunt in this horror-filled Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Escape from Transylvania in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. It's sad how your Tamera Mowry Housley continues to remain completely clueless regarding her husband Adam Housley's racist behavior. Now, on a recent episode of her minstrel show, The Real, we had your Tamera Mowry Housley coming out here to emphatically state that her husband Adam Housley wasn't a racist. Now, when I look at this attempt to go out here and make this statement, your Aunt Tamera is coming off just like the mammy on that Aunt Jemima syrup bottle, because it shouldn't have to be a black woman coming out to defend her white husband. Her white husband should be able to go out and defend himself from any sort of allegations of racism. Moreover, when it comes down to men like Adam Housley, it is their actions that speak louder than their words. And when you take a critical look at your Adam Housley's actions, they show us how racist he truly is and how he just does not respect Tamera Mowry Housley or black people. And we could see that by his previous place of employment, because your Adam Housley was an employee of Fox News. And your Fox News, they say that they're fair and balanced, but they're clearly biased against black people in many of their narratives as related to the news, and they oftentimes create disparaging stories about black people. So how can a man say that he is not a racist when he's working in a place with a group of racists and white supremacists and supporting their narrative, their ideas, and their whole platform? Now, your Adam Housley recently quit because he said that he did not like the direction of Fox News, but he had no problem with the direction of Fox News for over 2 decades. So I'm looking at that part of your Adam Housley, and that shows me the foundations for his racism, supporting a racist news media group for over 2 decades. And I'm looking at many of his tweets and messages on social media, because one of the messages he placed on social media that I found to be quite troubling was one he made recently where he talked about the 4th of July. And in that statement he made on the 4th of July, he had the arrogance to presume to try to tell black people how they should feel regarding the 4th of July, the day of independence for white Americans, not the day of independence for black Americans. Because when it came down to black people and the Revolutionary War, black people were not free on July 4th, 1776, because as it relates to the United States Constitution, black people were considered 3/5 of a person until the 13th Amendment. That's how they saw most black male slaves at the time, because that was the law of the land at the time, that black people, black men, were considered 3/5 of a person. So it took 3 black male slaves in order to become one person. So when your Adam Housley tries to presume to tell black people how they should feel about the 4th of July, again, that comes from a place of white arrogance and white racism, because racists believe they can presume to tell you how you should feel about your own country and have your own feelings about things, because they think they know better than you. And then I look at the way your Adam Housley has treated your Tamera Mowry Housley. Now, your Tamera Mowry, your Aunt Tamera, she can't see how this Adam Housley has absolutely no respect for her, because she's so spellbound about being in the presence of God that she cannot see how this man treats her as a person. Because I can look at the way your Adam Housley has treated Tamera, and again, this is not the way a husband treats a wife. A husband who loves his wife is not going to have a picture of his wife's genitals on the computer screen of his office. No, a man who loves his wife, he's going to, if he has those pictures are going to be private for him, and they're not going to take them to his workplace to be broadcast on a computer for his job, knowing he may possibly put his job and his livelihood at risk. So that shows me, again, how little respect this man had for Tamera Mowry. Moreover, other things show me that this man has no respect for Tamera Mowry, because he's sitting there blowing up over mayonnaise on a sandwich. That's not something any man is going to do, whether he be black or white. If he's in a relationship with a female and she knows him, then she should know what he would want on a sandwich. No, guys do these type of things when they are getting tired of a woman and they're making plans to try to find the exit. And that was clear to me when I was listening to this Tamera Mowry Housley sitting there talking about how she was thanking God or whatever that her baby had brown skin like her. So it looks like she wanted to try to find a way to feel her way back to the black community, and she was looking to find whatever options were out there. And that's clear to me that's what she's trying to do with that action. And your Adam Housley's recent actions by leaving his position at Fox News, that also shows me that there is trouble in paradise. Because when it comes down to your Adam Housley, he had this job for over 18, 19 years. And when it comes down to guys, they don't leave jobs to go be with their family unless they're going to get caught up in some sort of scandal as related to sexual harassment, or they're trying to avoid some sort of scandal as related to something related to their work. That's the only time somebody is going to resign a perfectly good paying job where they have years at that job like your Adam Housley has had. They're not going to leave because, oh, the media company has gone on a different viewpoint and they want to so-called be with their family. No, they're leaving because either they're trying to get out from under something or they have plans to do something a little bit more devious. And with there being trouble in paradise, I'm believing that your Adam Housley quit his job so that he could get access to Tamera Mowry's resources. Because when it comes down to divorces, when it comes down to white men are primarily thinking about building wealth. And if your Adam Housley is working, then he has an income, and when it comes down to divorce court, that income would be factored in. But if Tamera makes more than Adam Housley and he doesn't have a job, then guess what? He can go into divorce court and not only get custody of the kids, but he can also get child support and spousal support. Because again, as it relates to white men primarily are thinking of ways to build economic wealth for themselves at the expense of black women. Because when it comes down to spellbound women like your Tamera Mowry Housley, they are all caught up in the skin of this white man and the acceptance they will get from white people and the social currency they will get from white people. And because they are caught up in their emotions, they can't see the game as chess, not checkers. And because they are still playing checkers with white men, those white men then checkmate them at divorce court, like Halle Berry was checkmated at divorce court after she got her biracial children from Gabriel Aubry and Oliver Martinez. She then had to pay both of those men spousal support and child support, and that's what happened to her because she was caught up in her emotions over a white man. And the same thing is eventually going to happen to Serena Williams, because when it comes down to women like Halle Berry, your Serena Williams, and your Tamera Mowry Housley, they are spellbound about trying to get with white men because they believe that if they get a white man, they will fit into the black box that will allow them to get white acceptance. And they believe once they get the white acceptance, they will be this respected person. Unfortunately, what happens is white men usually checkmate these females because once they get what they want out of these females, and once they get the biracial child, what they start doing is start making plans to build their new economic platform with a white female. And as I see it with Adam Housley, him being about 44, 45 years old, about my age, he's sitting there thinking he can go now start another family with a younger white female, and now after he divorces Tamera, use her resources to go build up a white woman at Tamera Mowry Housley's expense. And this is where your Tamera Mowry is completely clueless, because when it comes down to this biracial Afro-American Negro female, she is completely clueless about things as related to race, race relations, and racism, because she's sitting there believing that this white man is going to not take the exit sooner rather than later, because you have your Adam Housley, who is at the height of his social marketplace value. This man is probably thinking, I'll get out of this job at Fox News, I'll go divorce this woman, and then I will go out here and get child support at her expense, and then I'll go build my life and have my white children with this white woman, and at the end of the day, he'll come out, he believes he's going to come out on top. And sadly, because Aunt Tamera is too busy wearing that do-rag and making pancakes, she can't see the game being run on her, and she can't see that this man is a racist. And the reason why, the thing with racist is that, yes, they may hate black people, but they love trying to find new and exciting ways to exploit black people. When it comes down to many of these white men, yes, they'll go out here and get involved with a black female, and they'll get involved with that black female because they don't have any other options available, because they know they can't attract white women without economic resources, and all they have to do is find that black female, get her money, and then they can start marketing themselves as saleable to white females, because that's what they usually do. That's what guys like Gabriel Aubrey did. When he started getting women like Kim Kardashian, that's when Halle Berry started to lose it. Because what she didn't understand is that this is what poor white men do. Because again, when white men get involved with black women like Tamera Mowry, they get involved with them because they want economic resources. Because for white men, relationships are about economics, because relationships are a business for them. So they will use a black woman as a stepping stone, and then after they have done what they wanted to do, whether it be giving that woman a biracial baby, or they have gotten enough money out of the woman, they will divorce the woman and then go and use their child support and spousal support to build a middle-class economic lifestyle for themselves. But because many of these women, again, like your Tamera Mowry, are completely spellbound, they'll sit there and say, this man isn't a racist, and he could be sitting there saying things that are racist, but because, again, many of these black women, they just so caught up in their feelings about just having the attention of God, they can't see the racism going on in front of them. I could clearly see the racism as related to this Tamera Mowry, and I could see how this man, again, has absolutely no respect for this woman, because the way I look at the body language he has in pictures with her, and he's not standing close to her, he's not really trying to show any sort of real emotion in his face, because when a man loves a woman, he's going to hold her very close, he's going to have a genuine smile. It's not going to be like Adam Housley in many of his pictures where he's standing distant, when he has a pasted on smile, like he's just there because it's just something he has to do out of obligation. No, it's going to be like with Tia and Corey Hardick, where I saw Corey is really holding Tia close. He's got that genuine Kool-Aid smile. You can feel the love in his picture. You can feel the closeness. You can feel the connection. But with Tamera, you see that complete distance. And with her coming out to try to tell us he's not a racist, that's not something positive, because a man who is not racist, again, he's going to come out here and he's going to show he's not a racist by his actions, and he doesn't have to stand behind his wife's words like a coward. Because when I look at the whole situation with Tamera Mowry, it's just her not understanding the sad state of affairs as related to her husband, the sad state of affairs as related to her crumbling marriage, and the sad state of affairs of her going out like in the worst way, because usually when it relates to these swirlers, usually once these white men have had their fun, that's when they find out the sad, horrible truth about things, and that's when they start thinking about doing things like Tamera was doing, like returning to the black community. And with the backlash that has gone on as related to Tamera Mowry, that's what's got her really uneasy, because she knows that many of the people in the black community, they are looking at her and saying, yeah, you're getting ready, you're trying to find a way to come back, you're trying to find some beta male simps out here. But what she's finding is the sad thing about the social marketplace is that at 40 years old, there aren't that many beta males out there to ride a run and chase behind her, even with her being a celebrity. And that's where your Tamera Mowry is in a rock and a hard place, and she's looking for a way to get out of this situation and get out of the hot mess she's gotten herself in. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct publications, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.